What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today we are here to do. We're actually here to talk about a lot of things. We're going to be talking about the Final Four in the NHL. We're at Game 5 in both of those series. How's that all played out? We're going to be talking about the Oliver Ekman-Larsson trade rumors, and if I can think of anything else on the fly that's going on, I will more than gladly bring it up. But let's start off at the most exhilarating point for me. Oh man, I love this Final Four. I love the Final Four this year. It's been really fun. We got the rematch on one side, and we have whatever you want to call Montreal Vegas. You know what? Let's start with the Islanders and the Tampa Bay Lightning. So currently, Tampa and New York are tied at 2 games apiece. And I don't know what to think. It's been a really competitive series. I would say when it comes to who's been the better team, I would have to say it's been the Lightning. I just think that overall, they've played a lot better. You know, if it weren't for Ryan Pulaw getting in there at the last minute, they would have at least went to overtime with a chance to take a 3-1 series lead. I think that Tampa have been the team that's overall played better. But New York style, man, if you fall into that trap and if you can't jump out quickly, you get sucked in and you get pulverized. And that is what Tampa felt in both games 1 and 4, the 2 games that they lost. In the games they won, they did pretty well. They just did what they needed to do. It's not been an astoundingly oh my god, can you believe this happened series. Yeah, we knew what we were going to get out of these 2 teams. And we got that out of these 2 teams. It's been a great series, though. It's now a best of 3. You know, I'm gonna stick. I think Tampa still takes it in 7. But man, are the Islanders gonna give them a run for their money. I don't know how this doesn't go to 7. I really don't. I think we're guaranteed a game 7. So that was quick. But yeah, that's my thoughts on New York Lightning. Now, Montreal Vegas. Oh, that's been a series. So, in game 1, Vegas comes out and does what I expected them to do against Montreal. Beat them 4-1, but Montreal still made it competitive. 4-1 is really a bit divisive. It's a bit of a tricker there because even though it was a 4-1 win, Montreal still kept it fairly close until the end. So, kudos to them. And then in game 2, they won. They won in game 2. And the moment they won, I was just like, alright, listen, I know it's just one game. I predicted this to end in 5, but they aren't actually going to do it. And then game 3 happened. Marc-Andre Fleury. God damn it, you're so good, but man, that error is on your track record now. And Montreal ends up winning off of it. And then in game 4, Vegas comes out, and what does Vegas do? They do the Vegas thing. They do the Vegas thing. Nothing crazy. They went down 1-0. And then, of course, if I'm not mistaken, it was a member of their... No, it was William Karlsson actually scoring. He scored, and then Nick Waugh won it in overtime. It's a good series, man. It's a good series. It's surprisingly good, as a matter of fact. Surprisingly good series. I did not think it would be that competitive. Listen, I don't know if this screams Vegas in 6 or not. I don't know what's going to happen here. I really can't tell. And honestly, I'm not confident with my prediction of Vegas winning anymore. There, I said it. I think Montreal can win this. They definitely have more of a chance than they did a few weeks back. A week ago. Not a few. A week ago. They have a better chance now than they did then. So, we'll see what happens. But, man, we could be eyeing up a really intriguing series here. And also, I need to just mention this right now. I've watched a lot of hockey in my life. I like to think so anyways. I've watched nearly a game every single day that it's been possible to watch one since the bubble. And I was an avid watcher to catch a couple games a week prior to that. Games 3 and 4 in Montreal are 2 of the most horribly officiated games I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Game 3, it felt like, Gary Bettman being there was almost like voodoo for the referees not to call anything against Vegas. Vegas got away with everything. The high sticking against Corey Perry. How the hell do you not call that? And then, in Game 4, we thought, okay, now everybody's pointing and looking right at Chris Lee and the other guy. They must now smarten up a little bit. And then in the second period, I don't remember who it was, but I think Nick Suzuki was on the receiving end of it. A Vegas player just goes up, punches him in the face. Chris Lee is standing right there. Nothing. Some of the most poorly officiated games I have ever seen in my lifetime. I don't know how it's justifiable. But here we are, I guess, and yeah, so we'll really see. Hopefully they're done officiating for the rest of the year, definitely. I'd like to see them done officiating for the rest of time, because we just don't need that, but oh well. COVID, I guess. COVID affecting the game. Yay. But yeah, that's your Final Four. I'd still be confident in a Tampa-Vegas final. I know Montreal's making a challenge, but with them, it's going to be, for me, I'll believe it when I see it type thing. When I see Montreal beat Vegas 2 more times in the next 3 games, I will believe. That's when I'll realize, oh my god, they're in the finals. But until that point, I'm not going to sit here and confidently say it. I still think, deep down, Tampa-Vegas is the Stanley Cup final. That is going to happen just because those 2 teams are so good. And if that does happen, I can't wait. Any combination of these 4 teams is fine, Vegas-Tampa would be cool. I think low-key, an Islanders-Knights final would also be pretty fun. I think that an Islanders-Canadiens matchup would be ridiculously fun for me to watch, just because it's 2 teams that don't really have a defining superstar on them. It's just a ton of guys who've bought into a system. So I think that would be a really good match. And then I think there's a bit of a story behind Tampa and Montreal, but that would probably be like the least interesting series. So I think we're in for a good Stanley Cup final no matter what. And yeah, I think that we're really, this is getting intense now, boys. Let's see where this goes. Let's talk about Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He is back on the market now, and if you don't remember, last year there were rumors of him being traded, and the story goes like this. Oliver Ekman-Larsson didn't want to leave. Arizona said, that contract though. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson said, okay, you have until this date, however, I will only go to Boston or Vancouver. A deal never surmounted with either of those teams. The deadline passed through, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson stayed in Arizona. He didn't leave. And now, we're sitting here a year later. Ekman-Larsson had an objectively worse year this year than he did last. And now they're going to try and trade him again. And I don't know where exactly you trade him to. I mean, think about it. You have to find a team that is willing to say $8.5 million, $8.25 million for the next 6 or 7 years. Give me, please. And that's not easy to find. That's really not easy to find in this age. I don't think he gets dealt. I know that there will be a lot of talk of him being dealt. I know I don't want him in Edmonton. Oh god, no, please don't let him be at Edmonton. I will cry if he gets traded to Edmonton. And that's no offense to him. He's a captain. I'm sure he's a good leader in the locker room, but production-wise, man, for 8.25, not many teams are going to want to take that on. Not many at all. So, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it all works out. I'm interested to see what you guys think. Do you think Larsson gets traded? And if so, where do you think he's going? Let me know down below. Other than that, there hasn't really been a ton of things going on that are, intriguing. I mean, I'm just going to do a quick Twitter check here. And I look on my phone for a quick second, and, Jason Spezza resigned last week. Is that what I'm supposed to talk? You want me to talk about that? I don't know. The NHL sent out a schedule. That's the only other thing I see. So, yeah. And that's from John Shannon, by the way. He said they sent... That's actually... No, that's actually interesting. This is what I mean by on the fly. It's my podcast. You expected me to actually prepare beforehand. You should know better by now. So yeah, apparently John Shannon's reported that the NHL sent a schedule out that begins in October next year, but they've sent out 2 drafts, one with the Olympics in play and one without the Olympics in play. There's been a lot of conversation over the Olympics. I would like to see the NHL go back to the Olympics just because last time around I didn't watch the Olympics because I didn't feel the need to, because, no offense, but when Mason Raymond is arguably one of your best forwards, it's not the funnest thing to watch, you know? No, like I said, no offense to Mason Raymond. Sure, he's a great guy, but if he's on your top 6 for your national team, it's a no-go. It's just a no-go. So, I would like to see them go back. I wonder if they do, though. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it plays out. COVID's gonna play a role, but it's not just COVID. It's also the fact that it's in China. That's gonna play a role. Politics, baby. Alright, I'm gonna leave it there before we go down a rabbit hole I really don't want to head down. Thank you all for watching this, whatever this podcast was. Who do you think's making the finals? Do you think Larson's getting traded? Do you think the Olympics are a go or a no-go? Let me know down below. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all next time. Shortest podcast, and probably the shortest one you'll ever see. Bye for now.